Commissioner Gordon, Bane has escaped.
Revenge has always been a dance of shadows, a battle of echoes. Most imagine it as destruction, a fiery storm consuming their enemies. But destruction is fleeting, a hollow cry that fades into silence. True revenge is not born in chaos, but in creation. To rise above what sought to break you, to become untouchable. That is vengeance in its purest, most elegant form. Self-improvement is not the antidote to suffering. It is the weapon forged in its fire. They may try to erase you, to leave you in ruin, but their efforts are in vain. You are not fragile, not easily erased. Each setback, each insult, each betrayal is fuel. The fire they lit to destroy you becomes the furnace where you temper yourself into something unbreakable. To transform is to rob them of their victory, to deny them the satisfaction of your defeat. Self-improvement is the revenge they can never counter. Power lies not in their downfall, but in your rise. To obsess over others is to waste your energy, to scatter your focus. But to turn inward, to sharpen your mind, your skills, your body, that is an act of rebellion that no one can stop. It is a war fought in silence, in solitude, but its echoes are deafening. When they see you again, they will not recognize you, and that will be your triumph. The greatest insult is to become what they could never imagine. The world thrives on limiting you, boxing you in, defining you by your past. But self-improvement shatters those illusions, carving a path that only you can walk. Each step forward is a rejection of their judgment, a defiance of their expectations. To evolve is to escape the shackles they forge for you. Improvement is not a linear path. It is chaos, destruction, and rebirth. You will stumble. You will fail. But failure is the crucible in which resilience is born. Each mistake, each fall, is another layer of strength, another lesson that sharpens your edge. To rise is not to avoid pain, but to embrace it, to wield it as a tool rather than a burden. The process is brutal, but its rewards are unmatched. The silence of your transformation is deafening. While others waste their breath on words, you act. While they plot, you build. Their eyes are on you, but your gaze is fixed ahead. Self-improvement is not a battle you fight with them. It is a battle you fight with yourself. Each victory over your weaknesses is a triumph they cannot steal, a monument to your will. Revenge is fleeting, self-mastery is eternal. To dedicate yourself to your own evolution is to create a legacy that outlives the pettiness of your enemies. Their hatred becomes irrelevant in the face of your greatness. To outgrow them, to rise so far above their reach that they are but ants beneath your feet. This is the kind of revenge that endures. The world will try to distract you, to draw you into its games, its noise, its chaos. Resist. The path of self-improvement is not for the distracted. It demands focus, discipline, and an unrelenting hunger for more. Each day you grow stronger, more capable, more complete. While they waste their time, you use yours. Time is the battlefield, and you are winning. Revenge is best served cold, and there is nothing colder than indifference. When you're so consumed with your own growth, their existence ceases to matter. Their words, their actions, their schemes, they become nothing more than whispers in the wind. Your success is their defeat, your progress their punishment. To rise is to erase them. Disappointment is a slow poison. It seeps in through the cracks of inaction, leaving behind the bitter taste of regret. Time does not wait for your hesitation. It devours your opportunities, one moment at a time. 20 years from now, the weight of what you didn't do will crush you. The safe choices, the missed chances, the dreams abandoned for comfort. These will be your ghosts. Throw off the chains of safety. Safe harbors are prisons disguised as sanctuaries. They offer security, yes, but at the cost of growth. Security breeds stagnation. It lulls you into mediocrity, convincing you that you are content. But deep inside, you feel the hunger, the ache to break free, to risk, to dare, to truly live. Catch the winds that beckon you forward. The unknown is not your enemy. It is your playground. It is where the bold thrive, where the daring rise. Each gust of wind, each wave, is a challenge, a call to rise, to conquer, to explore. Every moment you cling to safety, you lose a piece of yourself. Throw yourself into the storm and find what lies beyond. Dreams are not fragile. They are feral. They claw at the edges of your mind, demanding attention, begging to be set free. But dreams without action are curses. They haunt you, reminding you of what could have been. To dream is to prepare for war. To act is to wield the weapon of your ambition. Dreams are meant to be lived, not just imagined. Discover who you are by stepping into the unknown. The safe life is not a life at all. It is an illusion. The world is vast, its depths unmeasured, its horizons endless. To discover is to claim what is yours, to reject the boundaries set by others and forge your own path. The greatest revenge is not in proving others wrong. It is in proving yourself right. Every step away from the harbor is a step toward liberation, toward self-improvement, toward the version of yourself that fear tried to keep hidden. Let their doubt fuel your fire. Let their limitations become your stepping stones. Sail beyond their expectations. Do not let them define your course. They thrive in mediocrity. They want you to stay small, to be as lost as they are. But the open sea is yours. The winds obey your command. Each mile you sail, each wave you conquer, distances you from their judgment. You are not bound by their vision. Safety is an illusion. Comfort is a lie. The things you did not do will always cut deeper than the things you dared to attempt. Regret is the wound that never heals. Action is the antidote. Every risk you take, every dream you chase, every horizon you reach becomes a shield against that wound, against regret. Life is not lived in the harbor. It is lived in the chaos of the sea. It is lived in the moments when your breath catches, when your heart races, when you are most alive. The bowlines must be cut. The safe must be abandoned. To live is to chase the wind, to let it carry you to places you never imagined, to find yourself in the journey. Life is a battlefield disguised as a chessboard. Every square is a choice, every move a consequence. To remain still is to forfeit. To act without thought is to fall. The game is relentless, unforgiving. Each decision you make shapes the board. Each moment of hesitation narrows your chances. The only way to survive is to play with intention, to move with purpose. Insight is the blade that cuts through chaos. It is not granted, it is earned. Built from failure, from observation, from the raw, brutal lessons life forces upon you. The board does not forgive ignorance. It does not reward apathy. To win, you must see beyond the surface. Read the patterns. Anticipate the traps. Insight is your armor, your weapon, your compass. Knowledge is the scaffolding of mastery. It builds upon itself piece by piece, brick by brick. A single lesson may seem insignificant, but over time, the structure it creates becomes unshakable. Each game you play, each battle you face adds to the arsenal. Mistakes are not losses. They are blueprints for the next attempt. To refuse knowledge is to refuse progress. In life's game, you're not a single piece. You are all of them. The pawn, bold yet disposable. The rook, unyielding in direction. The knight, unpredictable in movement. The queen, the most versatile force on the board. And the king, the soul of the game. Each role teaches you something. Each piece represents a facet of who you are. To master the game, you must master every part of yourself. The board is your arena. It does not favor the timid. Those who wait, who hesitate, are swept away. Sacrifice is inevitable. The question is not if, but when. Will you lose a pawn to gain the queen's position? Will you risk everything to take the king? Each move defines you. Each sacrifice reshapes your destiny. Life demands audacity. Caution may keep you safe, but it will not help you win. To play small is to surrender before the first move. The game rewards boldness, calculated risk, a strategy born of vision and courage. To hesitate is to let others dictate your fate. To act is to seize control. The game is not fair. It is not meant to be. Life is ruthless, biased, tilted in favor of the prepared. But fairness is irrelevant. What matters is how you respond. Will you let the odds defeat you, or will you use them to your advantage, bending the board to your will? The unfairness of the game is not a disadvantage. It is your opportunity. Chess teaches patience. The best move is not always the quickest. The path to victory is rarely direct. Sometimes you must retreat to advance. Sometimes you must sacrifice what you value to gain what you need. Patience is not passive. It is active restraint. The calm before the strike. The silence before the storm. In the end, the game is not about victory. It is about evolution. Each move, each loss, each triumph changes you, shapes you. The board is a mirror, reflecting your strengths, your weaknesses, your potential. To play is to grow, to learn, to become something greater than you were before the first move. Because the game is not about defeating others, it's about defeating yourself, your doubts, your fears, your limitations. Each move you make is an act of rebellion against who you were. Life is a game of chess, and the best revenge is not in winning. It is in becoming the master of your own board. Your potential is a double-edged blade. One side gleams with light, the ambition to build, to rise, to conquer the heights of greatness. The other side, darker and sharper, is the capacity for chaos, for destruction, for untamed rage. Most fear this darkness, pretending it isn't there, burying it beneath layers of civility. But ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. It festers, growing stronger, waiting for the moment to seize control. To understand your greatness, you must first confront your darkness. It is not your enemy. It is your shadow, the unspoken truth that follows you everywhere. Pretending to be pure, to be free of malice or anger, is a delusion. The more you deny your darkness, the more power it gains over you. But to face it, to look into its depths, is to take the first step toward mastering it. Darkness is not inherently evil. It is potential unshaped, raw energy that can destroy or create depending on how it is wielded. Those who fear their darkness remain slaves to it. Those who embrace it, who mold it, who bend it to their will, become unstoppable. Insight into your shadow is insight into your strength. You cannot wield what you do not understand. Your capacity for greatness is mirrored by your capacity for destruction. The larger the shadow, the brighter the light required to cast it. Most will never understand this balance. They will run from their darker impulses, allowing them to dictate their lives from the shadows. But the ones who rise, the ones who truly rise, are those who integrate their darkness, who transform it into fuel. To achieve big things, you must accept the full scope of your being. Not just the polished, presentable parts, but the messy, untamed depths. The jealousy, the anger, the ambition so fierce it burns. These are not flaws. They are tools. But tools must be used with precision, or they will destroy everything you aim to build. Your darkness holds the key to your transformation. It is not a weight to be carried, but a fire to be controlled. Acknowledge it. Name it. Study it. The more you understand your capacity for chaos, the more power you gain over it. This is where insight begins. In the shadows you've been too afraid to explore. To master your darkness is to master yourself. The world respects strength, not the facade of goodness. Strength comes from knowing exactly who you are, including the parts you'd rather keep hidden. It comes from wielding your darker impulses with intention, channeling them into action, into progress, into greatness. Most will misunderstand this. They will call you cold, ruthless, dangerous. Let them. Their fear of the dark blinds them to its potential. But you see it clearly. You know that the light without shadow is weak, untested, naive. The strongest are forged in the tension between the two, where darkness tempers the light. Your darkness is not your downfall. It is your foundation. To stand tall, to reach high, you need roots that go deep, roots that draw strength from the earth's shadows. To confront your darkness is not to surrender to it. It is to claim it, to make it your ally, to let it sharpen your edge. Ambition is a fire. It burns bright, consuming everything in its path. But what is it fueled by? For some, it's the desperate chase for status, for power. These ambitions flicker and die when the wind changes. Status is borrowed. It is given by others and can be taken just as easily. It's an illusion, a shadow that disappears when the light shifts. True ambition, better ambition, is not built on such fragile foundations. Character is unshakable. It is not gifted by society or dependent on circumstance. It is forged in adversity, tempered by failure, and polished through relentless effort. Character doesn't crumble under pressure, it thrives in chaos. While status fades with the whispers of others, character stands unyielding, a monument to your inner strength. It is not fleeting. It is eternal. Ability is the sharp edge of ambition. It is what cuts through challenges and carves a path where none exists. While power may be wrested from you, ability cannot. It is skill honed to perfection, knowledge turned into action. To focus on building your abilities is to arm yourself with tools no one can steal. Every skill you master, every challenge you overcome adds to your arsenal. This is real power, silent, disciplined, unstoppable. Adversity is inevitable. It cares nothing for your titles or your reputation. It strips away the superficial, leaving you face to face with your core. Those who rely on status crumble under its weight. But those with character and ability endure. They adapt. They rise. Adversity is not the enemy. It is the crucible in which your best self is forged. Every trial you face sharpens your edge, preparing you for the battles to come. To pursue status is to chase approval, to surrender your worth to the opinions of others. To pursue character is to claim your sovereignty, to decide who you are and who you will become. It is the foundation upon which all greatness is built. Character does not demand recognition. It does not seek applause. It is quiet, steady, and unrelenting. Power is transient. Character is permanent. While the weak chase fleeting moments of dominance, the wise focus on building themselves. The world's approval is fickle, but the respect you gain for yourself through effort and perseverance is unshakable. Character is not about impressing others. It is about standing tall in the face of your own reflection, knowing you have fought, struggled, and prevailed. Improvement is the path of the relentless. It is not glamorous. It is not easy. It demands sacrifices, forces you to confront your flaws, and requires unyielding discipline. But it is worth it. Status fades, but the strength you build within yourself remains. It becomes your shield, your weapon, your sanctuary. To improve is not to chase perfection, but to become indestructible. The better ambitions are not loud. They do not scream for attention. They work quietly, reshaping you from within. To build character and ability is to lay a foundation so strong that no storm can shake you. These ambitions do not fade with time. They grow stronger, deeper, more unyielding. They carry you through the darkest nights and light your way forward. Status is a mask. Character is your face. When the world strips you bare, only one remains. Those who cling to status are left hollow, while those who invest in character rise unbroken. To pursue the better ambitions is not to escape adversity, but to thrive in it. To emerge from every challenge stronger, sharper, more complete. Learning is destruction. It is the quiet obliteration of what you once held as certain. Every new piece of knowledge slices through the fabric of your beliefs, leaving holes that can only be filled with chaos. But this is not a tragedy. It is transformation. To learn is to let the old die so that the new may rise. Growth demands sacrifice, and the sacrifice is the comfort of what you thought you knew. Each revelation is a wound. It cuts deep, exposing the fragile assumptions that held you together. To resist learning is to clutch tightly to these broken pieces, hoping they will shield you from the storm. But they won't. They shatter under the weight of new information, and in their place, chaos reigns. This chaos is terrifying, but it is also necessary. Chaos is the crucible. It breaks you down, tears you apart, and leaves nothing untouched. But within that chaos lies the seeds of something greater. The old must dissolve to make way for the new. Each time you let a belief die, you make room for something stronger, something more resilient. The pain of learning is the cost of becoming unbreakable. Most avoid this pain. They hide from it, pretending their stagnant ideas are enough to carry them forward. But stagnation is the slowest death of all. To avoid learning is to embrace decay, to allow your mind to rot in its own complacency. Learning may feel like death, but it is the only path to life. The process is relentless. It does not care for your comfort or your pride. It demands everything. Each time you think you've mastered something, the universe reveals another layer, deeper and more complex. This is the cycle. Learn, die, rebuild, over and over again until there is nothing left of the person you were. Resistance is futile. Learning is not optional. It is inevitable. The world will force its lessons upon you, tearing apart your illusions whether you are ready or not. The question is not if you will learn, but how you will handle the destruction it brings. Will you cling to the ruins or will you rise from them? To embrace learning is to embrace chaos. It is to dance with the unknown, to let it unravel you and then weave you back together. The process is painful, messy, and often brutal. But it is also beautiful. Each piece of knowledge you gain adds to the tapestry of who you are. Each death of an old idea brings new life to your understanding. Learning is the ultimate rebellion. It is a rejection of complacency, a refusal to accept the world as it is. To learn is to say, this is not enough. I can be more. It is an act of defiance, a declaration that you will not be bound by the limitations of your past. Each lesson learned is a step toward freedom. In the end, learning is not just about gaining knowledge, it is about transformation. Each bit of information you absorb reshapes you, forcing you to confront your weaknesses, to question your assumptions, to grow in ways you never imagined. To learn is to destroy who you were and to create who you will become. Because the best revenge is not to remain the same. It is to evolve, to let every bit of learning kill the old you and give rise to someone stronger, sharper, more complete.